Jenny Mason.
February the 17th, 1932.
I'm a music lover. I love the Word of God. I love children. I love my grandson and my great grandsons and my daughter, my son. I love people.
A Victor Christian Center. Uh, Close to 30 years. Well, I worked in Mecklenburg County. I worked in Detroit, Michigan. I worked in Augusta, Georgia. I worked with children. I was a teacher. I used to play the violin. And I used to play a lot of the classroom instruments, the melody bells, and because I taught those to the children, and flutophones, taught those, um, and many of the rhythm instruments. Over 30 years, but I retired early. That's amazing to say that, but that's true. I think it's in the family, the paternal part of the family for Jay. Um, I'm the only one in the maternal part of the family, but the paternal family part of the family, there were many teachers, and on my dad's side and on his grandfather's side. Okay, uh, I came from a family of five children. I'm next to the youngest. I had one. There were four girls and one boy. My oldest sister is the one I was telling you about. Her picture. She worked at the White House. That's where she retired from. The other one next to her, she had health problems and she used to work in a Chinese restaurant, but she didn't work too long because of her health. My brother was in warehouse work. He lived in New York. My dad was a weaver. I guess that's the name because that's what he did when he was not helping on the farm where his brother lived. He wove baskets and did bottoming chairs. But I know before my dad died, he had a stroke, and he wanted me to take him to this place where he got those straps, this where they, and he put them around his shoulder, and he had gone up to Belmont to uh, bottom some chairs, and he did a lot of stuff with the baskets and stuff. So he was walking back home, and Belmont, what is it, Belmont Abbey? Mm-hmm. College student hit him, and that killed him. Mm. And that was, I had that's a picture of him over there, and he was one of the soldiers that had went and bought his uniform to go to the war. And after he had got his suit, the war ended. So he didn't get to fight, go into service, but he had a picture made. Mm-hmm. Give your life to the Lord and serve Him with all your heart and all your mind, your whole spirit. Be a good family man. Love your children. Uh, Work hard. Honest. Be honest. And just love children. That's what I do. My first love is children. No, my first love is God, and then the second one is children and people. Well, I think was last year when Jay, he always pulls things on you. He's thinking you're doing one thing and you're doing another, like this. He done told me one thing, and I'm trying to figure out now why do I have to put clothes on for this man, and today is Saturday. But he's just full of surprises. And I got off your. What was your question? But it has something to do, you said the most surprising thing.
Like special birthdays that you remember.
Last year when Jay was telling me we were going to one place and we were going to meet the other people at another place, and then had to come in here and do something, and got in here and the house was full of people, and I didn't even. And they were all in my kitchen, and I was so shocked I didn't know what to do, but it was a big surprise. That was a big surprise. They had balloons and everything, everything out. And I lost my most favorite can opener. I've had that can opener for over 40 years. And I believe, Jay, did you get my can opener?
No, I ain't got it.
I went to Dillard's to see if they had one like it has a wooden handle. But I haven't found, I can't hardly open up cans very well. I've got an electric one in there that I have problem with my vision occasionally. And so I have to have things that I can see a little bit. And that can opener was one of my favorite things that got missing at that birthday party. Kizzy was born on my birthday on February the 17th.
How does that make you feel?
That make me feel wonderful.
That's a great
That
gift.
makes me special. Yes,
Okay.
Kizzy was born on my birthday. Oh, she was the joy of my life. She and Jay, I helped to raise them, and so I named her. When that movie came out, what was the name of that movie, Jay?
Ruth.
Huh?
Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth. And I heard the name Kizzy, and I said, oh, and Kizzy hadn't been born, but then I said, if I ever had a girl, I'd name her Kizzy. So when I went to the hospital and saw her, my daughter said she didn't have any name for her. So I said, how about let's name her Kizzy? So I named her Kizzy. And Jay, the same thing. She named him Jedediah, and I said, oh my goodness, I'll never say that word. Jedediah. So I said, well, I'm just going to call him Jay. I just said the letter J, that's what I was going to call him. But then later on, I said, I'm going to put some other letters with it. So I spelled it Jai, and that's his name. And his great-grandchildren, let's see. I think I would tell them to love your dad and obey him and give your life to the Lord, and that everything else will fall in place.
Yes, ma'am.
This coming Friday, I'll be 85.
Oh. You don't look it.
Oh, everybody say that. I say the same thing to everybody.